Welcome back. It is another episode of Bob and Ray, and we are your hosts for Split Personalities.
Boom.
The podcast now taking place in Lakewood, Ohio. But we still tell everybody when we go out of town, when people ask where we're from, we're like, motherfucker, we're from
Everywhere.
We're from Cleveland.
We're everywhere.
We are omniscient, like our Lord and Savior.
Yeah. Hey, have you heard about YouTube?
Oh, wait, is it omniscient or omnipresent?
Omnipresent. Yes, omnipresent.
Ubiquitous.
Omniscient.
Is it ubiquitous?
Omniscience is knowing everything, right?
Well,
Omnipresent is being everywhere.
and ubiquitous is also. Doesn't ubiquitous also mean to be like present everywhere?
Somebody
with the thesaurus, look that up.
Yeah.
Or a dictionary, whatever. Dictionary.com, that shit for us.
If you don't have a dictionary, check your thesaurus.
Or if you're legit, OED that. Oxford English Dictionary.
There you go.
You can find the etymology of the word.
Go to your encyclopedias on your bookcase that everyone has in their house.
Yeah, nerd out. We're nerding out. You nerd out.
Nerd out.
On the vocab.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure I know what I'm talking about. So we are omniscient, omnipresent, or we could also say ubiquitous.
Mm-hmm.
We are the podcast that is everywhere, but when we talk to people, we say we're from Cleveland.
Right. Now, when you open up that YouTube app, you just got to keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling.
Eventually, the algorithm will be forced to show you our content.
Forced to show you our
You'll have doom scrolled through too much content, and it'll be like, okay, shit, we got to throw something else at you.
We're gonna be selling those dude wipes.
Dude wipes. We are continuing our movement as the anti-manosphere.
Yes, anti-manosphere.
This is the anti-manosphere podcast.
Yeah.
We both.
So if anyone asks, we hopped on that bandwagon first.
We were the ones who started the movement.
We started the movement.
We started the movement of the we like, just like Joe Rogan is the center of the manosphere and they all kind of float around his aura.
Mm-hmm.
You will see the anti-manosphere floating around Split Personalities. Everyone will come here to we'll fly people in from Lakewood on their own dime. We won't pay for it.
Yeah,
because unless we make a lot of money.
And just like the manosphere, we're going to talk about a lot of stuff, and we promise to only know about 50%.
Yeah, or maybe less. Maybe less than 50% of the topics we talk about.
Our promise.
That's the shtick. Now you just got to pretend like you're curious about it.
You got to pretend like you guys, speak.
I'm just being curious. I'm not making claims about politics. I'm just being curious about it.
I'll say I'm bi curious.
Yeah. That is an Arrested Development reference. That's another show we should talk about at some point.
Actually, we should, but just the first 3 seasons.
Yeah, not the extra stuff that came out on that shitty Netflix.
Yeah, not the Netflix stuff.
Okay. Today's topic is sort of an extension. If you've been following the show at least since episode 6, you will know that one of our discussion topics while we were abroad, because the show's gone international, as everybody knows.
This is going to release, but I guess we now have to. We might be reorganizing the order in which we release things. Might need to release that next. The Alien one.
I don't have everything ready for that. The long format's edited, but I don't have the shorts done for it. I have 2 shorts. The shorts that I shared with you, John and Greg,
right,
is everything I've done so far for that. I need to get on that one. Maybe you and I can sit down and actually do that together.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so today's topic is depending on what order we release these episodes in. We're hearkening back to one of our previous episodes while we were abroad in Portugal. We shot some film with our brother John and his husband, our brother-in-law Greg, and we talked about something near and dear to all of our hearts, which was Alien. Yes. Like really the franchise.
Yeah.
We talked about Prometheus, like chronologically speaking here. We talked about Prometheus, Covenant, Alien Earth. Or no. Prometheus, Covenant, Alien Earth. We hinted at Alien Earth. Alien Romulus. We talked about those 5. But really 4.
What about aliens? Did we talk about
aliens. I think we kind of skipped.
Did we skip aliens?
Well,
we got really sidetracked by Prometheus.
Well, aliens kind of. You know what? Here's a take that I'm going to have. Aliens kind of moved the franchise. Aliens was a great movie. but it sort of pushed the franchise towards exploring just the alien and ignoring the space jockey, the engineer. This was one of Ridley Scott's big critiques of actors, is nobody ever found the engineer interesting.
But that was only second movie.
True, but I mean, like, after, I don't know. I just feel like Aliens really pushed it to the alien side of things and ignored. I mean, not that the first movie ever explored the Juggernaut, but it was in there.
You mean the jockey?
The space jockey. Or, yeah, well, he was in the Juggernaut ship. Yeah. I guess they do. Right. I guess the two who first get infected, was not infected, what do you call it? An egg was laid inside them. Impregnated did go to the ship in Aliens. Like, they stumble upon the on the jockey, on the Juggernaut.
Right.
The same one that Nostromo crew
found,
did.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways. For some reason, we didn't approach Aliens. Not that we even had the time to do that anyways. But I feel like Aliens doesn't really add to a lot of lore to the...
It added the Queen. Has the Queen really been used too much recently? I guess not.
So the YouTube video you sent me... Or no, one of the ones that I watched, because I did watch one in prep for today. He was like, nobody really knows the etymology, or not the etymology. Nobody knows what's canon as far as the eggs, how the eggs are produced.
Right.
Because in Aliens, James Cameron introduced the idea of a queen. Which makes sense. It
makes sense if to create the perfect bioweapon where it's self-sustaining,
right? That
eventually one of the creatures can just lay the eggs,
right? Like, one would have to be dominant in the order,
right? A self-sustaining kind of weapon.
But so his other point was Ridley Scott in the director cut of the first movie complicates this. Because when Ripley finds Dallas and some of the other crew members, they are up against a wall, like turning into eggs. Basically, was his point. Was that the alien was using this biological being to reshape it into an egg.
Really?
It's sort of weird. He was convinced by this. I don't remember watching. I know
that is a good question. Like, for instance, in the very first Alien movie, in Aliens, when you have a hive, it makes sense. Like, the goal is to protect the queen. Like, right. The queen sustains the hive.
Yes.
If you're one alien alone, like, what's your mission? What's your goal? What drives you other than survival?
Well, I think it does.
That alien was clearly putting people on the walls for something.
It was collecting them. It wasn't collecting them outright. Yeah. Now, in the most recent,
but I know that doesn't make sense to me. How do they then become eggs? I don't know.
There was some theory that, and maybe there's an evolution period that happens. There was a theory I feel like I read one time or somewhere that the big chap, that's the name of the alien from the first movie, that
makes him sound very gentlemanly.
Yes. I only know this because I was looking up a figure of him, like an action figure to get, and he's known as the Big Chap.
Oh my gosh, you're getting back on the action figures?
This was weeks ago. It's not. This was after, September. Megatron is coming out, and they're re-releasing Grimlock. I might have to go buy them. I might have to buy them first. My wife got a speeding ticket for $145 today. I feel like I can buy 2 action figures. I feel like we've reset.
Yeah, reestablished boundaries.
Well, we've reset. I can have a fuck up now.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We reset the button. The reset button got hit, so now I can do something and be like, let's just chalk it up.
The supply and demand of fuck ups work.
Yes, this is how. If you, those of you looking to get in a long term relationship,
the accounting of fuck ups,
you need to know what
credits and debits.
Yes, you need to know what you can hold over the other. Mm-hmm. And like what you can get away with because somebody else did something. It's just like, oh, you got a speeding ticket. I'm gonna go buy 2 Transformers.
Right.
Okay, so the big chap. There is a theory that was put out there by somebody that alien was a queen in its like initial stage. Like it didn't live long enough
Oh, interesting.
like to get huge.
Right.
So maybe that's why its instinct was to collect rather than kill. Because you do watch some of these other alien movies, like Alien Earth, for example, what we're going to talk about now. That's our subject matter today. We didn't introduce it. That's what we're talking about today. Alien Earth episodes 1 and
Alien
2.
Earth.
In Alien Earth, the alien's instinct is just kill. Like just killing everybody. So like there's a difference between how the one in the original acted versus many in other movies.
Mm-hmm.
So that does bring up some interesting dilemmas. Like basically the franchise has not decided how these eggs are made.
Yeah, it hasn't really decided where when does a queen come into play.
Well, and I mean to take the whole queen out of it, like there were theories floated that
Because really, like Ridley has not anything Project Ridley has been involved in has not really had a queen, has it?
No,
Yeah,
that was
Covenant
James Cameron introduced that and it became
Prometheus didn't really have aliens until kind
well,
of the end.
if you think about Ridley Scott, basically he kind of floats out the idea that the eggs were created from David mixing Elizabeth Shaw's human eggs with the black goo.
Well, although in Prometheus, I think there is like a monument, like when they enter that room. Remember, there's a monument where it looks like there's like essentially a queen alien, like on the wall
maybe
with, like,
I don't
arms,
know,
like outstretched.
Well,
that's the other thing that we haven't decided or figured out, like who really came up with the eggs. Was it David, or was David working off of something the engineers had already come up with?
Yes. Like, did the engineers already create the perfect being, or is that David?
Right.
It seems like this franchise steps all over itself, and it's created parallel universes where you could think it's David, or it could have been the engineers, or it could be neither. Actually, Alien Earth suggests that it's neither. That this species has lived. At least it's not David. Because some of the critiques that I've read are some insight that I've read from like IGN and who's the other one? Time Magazine wrote a piece on this, but basically those who have reviewed the series thus far have said it pretty much does away with Prometheus. It does away the Alien Earth does away with Ridley Scott's prequels. It ignores it completely.
Well, let's get into it. Like,
yeah. So,
and why is that?
Well, here's the thing. So the show episode 1 starts off and gives some snapshots of the Maginot. Is it the Maginot? Oh, what's the name of the show?
What's the Maginot Line?
Yes, it's like that same thing. It's named after that.
Like a defensive line in after World War One, the French set up this defensive line, like the Maginot Line, which really in the end didn't work out, and somehow there's like some sort of theme or symbolism here.
Right.
So the name of that ship.
The ship is the USCSS Maginot. And it's been on a 65-year mission to collect these like dangerous life forms, basically, for research.
Think about it.
Well, that 65 years means that
they would have
started
collected
before
these eggs before the events of Prometheus.
Yes, that's the point. That they discover the alien, and it's because they come back with eggs too. They discover the facehugger, the eggs, along with some other interesting aliens.
Right. So if it was bioengineered, it must have been the engineers themselves.
Well, and they did interview the director. The guy who directs this was on Fargo, did Fargo, and there was some other show he did.
I really liked Legion. Remember Legion?
I didn't
short-lived.
I didn't watch it.
Really good the first season.
So the director's name, who I'm blanking on, they did interview him, and he basically outright said like he hated the prequels. Like his whole point was to focus completely on the alien. And like to the point of like he complains about Ridley Scott a little bit because he's like, it made no sense to me that they did the low tech sci-fi stuff in Alien and Aliens, like the CTR TVs and like. But then when you watch Prometheus and Alien Covenant, he's like, it's like you're going from a CRT TV to walking into a Apple store. It's like the tech is so much more advanced in Prometheus and Alien Covenant, and he was like, he kind of hated that.
I think there is a world where you can square this peg, this round hole, if you just make it that the engineers, if it was designed, then they designed it. Like, it doesn't necessarily throw out the engineers, right? Or what Ridley was trying to get at with that, or whatever. And to be fair, that question really hasn't been answered yet. They never got to finish. I think originally it was supposed to be like a trilogy with David and whatever was going on for me.
Yeah, I think the I mean, sadly, making movies is a money thing, and I think the movie studios were like, these aren't doing well enough.
In a way, like, I don't hate the way they've started this show. Like, I think it still works.
It definitely
can still make it work, I think, within the whole universe that's been created, even with the prequels.
It's definitely true to the. It's definitely true to the original. Even like they were even making a point, like shot for shot, the opening scenes of the first episode are like a recreation. The opening of
the first episode is a love letter, essentially, to the first movie. I mean, it's like a shot for shot recreation to the lunch or dinner scene they have before what's his face,
the slow opening pod scene,
gets the chest burster, like the slow opening pods,
the
helmet with the
text going along it,
with it where it's like reflecting the screen.
Even the opening of like where the letters are coming into shape to form Alien Earth,
and even like the green text, like when you talk to Mother.
One thing that they do continue. Like, to not completely shit on Ridley Scott, because I mean, it is a love, like you say, it's a love letter to his first film, which was Alien.
Yeah, the very opening of the first episode.
And they do to stay with Prometheus and Alien Covenant for a second. They do keep with the theme of like these big tech companies have basically like are running the world, and this is also like kind of a homage to not just to Alien, but themes in Blade Runner too.
Which is funny to think about, like a company, Hulu, that is making this show that is owned by Disney, that owns pretty much everything. But essentially,
they're crying about capitalism.
Yeah, you open the show with them, basically explaining that there's 5 companies that essentially own the world.
Right.
And it seems that they've even split up continents.
Yes, like there's the 2 guys are like playing cards, or they're showing cards, or he's using cards. There's 2 guys on the Maginot space cruiser who are in a corner off by themselves talking, and one of them is using cards to explain, okay, the Weyland Yutani owns North and South America and Saturn and Mars or something like that. Whereas like the new company that's been introduced into this...
Doesn't one of them have a moon base or something?
One of them owns the moon, which is this new upstart company. The youngest trillionaire. The guy... Like, so far the show is focused on Weyland Yutani and one of its up-and-rising competitors, Prodigy.
There's this Prodigy who becomes all of a sudden rich and famous. New company on the block. And by the time the crew wakes up, because they've been asleep for 65 years.
Right.
They're like, oh, by the way, we just learned out.
That might be why they're talking about
originally the world was split between 4 companies. Now it's split between 5.
Yeah, that's interesting to think, like, you've been gone for 65 years. Like, what's changed on Earth?
And Weyland and Yutani have merged, right?
Right, yes. The woman who he talks to, I think in episode 2, who calls him, because Weyland Yutani freaks out because that's their proprietary stuff. That's now Crashland in Again, this is a city that is owned by Prodigy.
Well, here's the opening is essentially we open with a crew. The opening is very reminiscent of the very first movie. Opening, crew waking up after being asleep for like 65 years. They have gone into deep space to capture exotic creatures from different planets.
Yeah,
Some of which,
like dangerous ones.
some of which were alien eggs.
Right.
Which is interesting. Do they know the danger? How do they collect those eggs without them opening?
They do mention that they lost a lot of good men. And
But
people.
do they know? Because the eggs are just sitting out in the open, aren't they? On the ship?
Well, there is inside one of the glass containers is a live facehugger.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
But they somehow they figure out that the stasis of the eggs because there's that blue laser film above the like they do that again
Same way in the first movie.
that love letter to Alien, like they recreate that sort of like blue.
But why did
foam.
they do it?
Well, that's the question. How did they figure that out?
How do they know that? Well, I mean, the eggs they found must have. Maybe they were like that.
But how did
Maybe
they how
found
did they
another
recreate the technology to do that? Or do the eggs just maybe the eggs in order to stay alive create this stasis?
Or maybe this the light reflects the outer boundary. Like you do not want to cross this line because when you do, then you're activating.
Well, sure, but
if
like
you get too close to these eggs, then they're going to wake up.
but that's still that line of demarcation, that fog or whatever, that keeps them in stasis. Like they stay alive. These eggs could have been
I
there.
don't get the blue line. I didn't never got it with the engineer ship, and I don't get it.
It makes sense to me that like it as soon as somebody crosses it wakes the eggs up.
Mm-hmm.
So they come out of a stasis, like it's hypersleep, right? The eggs come out of their hypersleep, hibernation, and they wake up, and to stay alive, they go to sleep. But then the eggs wake up as soon as somebody crosses this blue film. My question is, so the blue film makes sense to me. My question is, did they create it? Do the eggs collectively create this boundary themselves when they go into hibernation? Do the eggs create this barrier?
Oh, it's interesting because I don't know. I'm trying to remember, like when you
because that would make sense to
when
me.
you see the blue light. Do you see like a piece of like tech sitting there that's creating this?
I don't think so
because remember that
because it was in the engineer ship and then it was like in a human ship. So I don't know.
It's a little like the blue light is obviously a nod to the first movie where it's the exact same thing. But I was like when I was watching in the moment, I was like, "Where's this coming from?" Like I enjoyed it because it was a clear nod to the first movie, but
right.
Which like the first episode does a lot of great nods to the first movie. Anyways, we have this first opening sequence where we're introduced to a bunch of not just aliens but creatures that are encased in various cages on this ship. So it's not just aliens that are out there. There are a lot of things out there that can kill you on the ship.
Who knows how many?
It's kind of cool that they introduced it. Like, part of me, I heard that they were going to do this,
right?
And when I first heard it, I was like, I'm going to hate this. Like, just focus on the alien. But seeing it like in the first episode and I guess second episode, I was like, okay, like I don't hate this. Like, and in reality, if there are different planets out there that can produce life or produce the ecosystem for life, like obviously there are going to be different creatures on different planets that are predators.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think it's like it's past time for them to do that. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, the Alien franchise to some degree has done that because there's been all these crossovers with Predator,
which I hear there's definitely going to be.
I heard actually, there's a scene where a guy is blowtorching a wall with some with some freezing chemical, and there are some theories that they're housing a predator in the room.
Well, I hear apparently he's going to make an appearance. Like that's the word.
Okay, it makes sense. They've done so many crossovers between the two, but it is like about time that they've like introduced other creatures into this series because it's like the universe is big. Humans don't know what the fuck they're doing exploring this unknown universe. Humans are notorious for putting themselves in bad situations, like out of curiosity. I mean, it's implied that a lot of the crew was lost in gathering these creatures, which the crew seems almost way too comfortable to be on the ship. Like they're waking up, they're smoking cigarettes, having lunch, enjoying themselves. I'm like, I would have been terrified to go to sleep in this.
Now,
place.
why did they go to sleep again? Here's the thing I don't understand in the first episode. They wake up,
Right.
and they
They're
announce,
like by Saturn or something.
They announce, okay, we've been asleep for 65 years, whatever. You're still too far away from home, from Earth, to be awake for the journey back. But
Right.
for whatever
Yeah,
reason,
makes
they
sense.
wake up. It looks like they're all doing various tasks on the ship. And then a majority of the crew seems to go back to sleep in their
Right.
pods, while I'm assuming some sort of chief scientist is like examining the species.
They did a lot of splicing, of video splicing, where it was hard to like, and it jumps around.
Yeah, and
splicing
then they
jumps
do a lot
around
of
in
jump
time.
forward, jump back, where you can see like obviously alien gets released and attacks everyone on the ship and kills everyone on the ship. There's a lot of jumping. As there's a sequence where basically the pods are doing their slow close thing as they're about to go back to sleep. Jump forward to the events that are about to happen, where they all get killed.
Right.
Jump back
Yeah.
to them going to sleep. Jump forward, jump back, jump forward, jump back.
It's a great opening. I mean,
A great opening. You know, trouble's about to start.
I mean, maybe they'll go back to the Maginot in events on the ship as the season goes along. Like,
I'm sure they will. I guess I'm just establishing that we don't know exactly how.
we don't know
things
how the
went
facehugger
wrong.
gets out. We don't know if it's like an Ash situation where one of the synthetics is. Though it seems so, there are two synthetics we know about that were on board.
It's an important thing to bring up about synthetics because there are 3 different types apparently.
Yeah,
Do you remember?
there are humans who are enhancing themselves with artificial parts.
Is that what it is? The cyborgs?
I think so.
Okay.
I feel like I'm speaking here, but I'm not confident.
Yeah, I'm not 100% confident I understand the difference between 3. I feel like they're cyborgs, but I'm not sure that they're like entirely human.
So there is a bio machine version, right?
There's the true synthetic where it's just straight
True
up robot.
synthetic, and then there is a synthetic that has a human consciousness that's been downloaded into it.
Is secretly being produced.
And that's that one is this new company. It's proprietary technology. Because I mean, one of the themes of the franchise that Ridley Scott introduces in Prometheus, and is kind of carried over here, is humanity's trying to live forever.
right.
Like you got these like rich assholes who just want to live forever.
And that's the battle to see who is going to be the one that lives forever, right?
Right.
Which of these 3 different types of synthetics?
Right. But that's the other like conundrum in the Alien franchise that this show's really focused
who's going to
on.
win the battle of the synthetics is another theme, I think, of that sort of thing, right?
But also like
now we know the truth. Whalen Yutani wins, right?
right. And the interest. I mean, we know without knowing how this series is going to end. I mean, Whalen Yutani's motivation for the Nostromo to set down an LV-426 is because they did not get the alien that was on Earth. So, you want to pass me one of those?
Do you want one of these or one of yours?
Give me a lean west. Take 5, folks. Take 5. We're going to recalibrate here. Recalibrate. One, two,
Our
one,
levels
two.
off. Here, hold on. There it is.
There's the test for you.
Here's the test. Yep, just put a little bit. All right. Anyways, yeah, so we know Whalen wins in the end. But this is going to be kind of, I guess, telling the story of like how they do it, maybe.
I think the interesting thing about this is that it's introduced other companies.
Mm-hmm.
Like Whalen Yutani at this point in time is not the only player in the game.
Right, and didn't Romulus kind of hint at that there were other companies?
Yes. Actually, there is like a Romulus-esque scene that happens in one of the first or second episode where the guy is trying to go get off planet to be a medical doctor.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who's the brother of the synthetic.
Right.
And he wants to stop working for Prodigy. I think he wants to go work for Wayland. I don't know. He wants to go be a doctor and go to school for that, and that would require him to stop working for Prodigy, and they do not allow him. It's like if you watched Romulus, there was that scene where she earns enough credits to go off world, and Wayland Yutani basically like fucks them over and was like, "No, you actually instead of 21,000 credits, you now need 28,000 credits."
Right.
So, anyways, that's the most interesting dynamic that's been introduced so far in this series, other than the new creatures, is the competing interests of these companies and how that's going to like, ruin the lives of other people.
Yeah, I mean, they've literally divided up the Earth.
Right.
Like, the Earth is no longer like nation states, it's companies.
That feels so real, to be honest.
It feels so real, yeah.
Yeah. So why don't we talk about some of the characters then? So we're past the opening scene, right? So the one of the main characters that the show introduces us to is she's a little girl when they start, Marcy.
So yeah, after everything that happens with the ship,
it cuts right to
this
the girl dying of cancer, and this introduces us to the company Prodigy, who has this proprietary technology where they can transfer, and they're focused right now, at least, on terminally ill kids. I don't know why he chooses kids. He specifically
says this, why he chooses kids. It's easier for the kids to transition into new bodies. Like if you're an adult and you're dying and you inhabit an entirely new body, like
right.
I think the thing is it's harder to make that transition mentally than a kid, right?
Right. That makes sense. At least that makes sense in the reason that they come up with. Like,
yeah, philosophically makes a lot of sense.
It's the human minds, and I mean when you watch these adult actors acting these parts as synthetics,
plus if they're like, I don't know,
they're very childlike.
I don't know if this is like explicitly stated, but I mean, kids are more easily manipulated. So,
well, that's true too. Yeah, for sure. I mean, you get the sense that this young trillionaire of Prodigy is just this big asshole who is playing God and like wants to recreate.
There's a lot of Peter Pan Neverland themes thrown in here.
Well, isn't his
I don't know enough
called
about
Neverland?
Peter Pan, the actual story. Like my reference for
He's
Peter
basically
Pan,
playing
Pan is Hook. Rest in peace, Robin Williams. But
yeah,
right.
I've
never read the story of Peter Pan.
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't speak to that really. I mean, like he's Peter Pan in the sense that Peter Pan leaves and grows up, and the rest of these synthetics he calls them his Lost Boys because the Lost Boys in Peter
and they
Pan
all take on the names of characters in Peter Pan.
Yes,
like the first girl, interestingly, decides to take on the name of Wendy when she's and essentially you have this scene where you have this dying girl. She's bald. It seems like she has some sort of cancer diagnosis. They're walking her through a hall. All of a sudden, they lead her to this room where a synthetic is laying on the table next to another table where she will then lay on and have her consciousness transferred into the synthetic. And before that happens, they even play Peter Pan in like kind of a movie like screen above the tables.
Yeah.
And she willingly chooses the name Wendy.
Right. I don't know if maybe they had her watching Peter Pan up until that point. He's definitely blasting.
Well, he reads the story of Peter Pan to them too.
Yeah, right. Yes.
Some sort of Peter Pan thing he's got going on here.
Yeah, there's some like message behind why Peter Pan, why the Lost Boys, like something he's trying to get across there.
Right.
So the other character that we're introduced that's tangent are connected to Wendy is her brother Hermit.
And who's the medical?
He's the medical guy. He goes into the ship that crashes with the rescue team because he's a medic. He's working for Prodigy. He thinks his sister's dead. I don't think he ever knew obviously this is a hush hush. Like
No, this is a secret thing. Like,
Yeah.
clearly, there's like some sort of.
Did he think that she went in there for like Prodigy was going to give her like top of the line medical treatment, and what they were really doing was just
Yeah, I guess we don't know 100% know the story yet, because somehow her father's involved.
Yeah,
And somehow her father knows what they were doing. And I don't
Maybe
know
the father
that we
signed
met
her
her
up 'cause-
father yet, right?
no, we've
still alive,
we've had
I mean.
flashbacks to their childhood, but we've not, and we've seen the father in those.
We've only met the brother and the sister, not the parents.
Right. I don't know if there's a lot to say about Hermit. I don't
Is
know.
that her brother, Herbert?
Yeah.
There's not much to say other than
He loves his sister. He misses his sister. He watches a lot of Ice Age.
yeah. Apparently, I didn't watch enough of I did send Bob like a breakdown thing of this, like of the first 2 episodes. Shout out, what are their names? I can't remember. I watched them a lot for like Easter egg breakdown stuff.
I don't know.
New something. God, I'm forgetting it.
Weren't they like new rock star or something?
New Rockstar or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
They do really good breakdowns and Easter egg like videos. Anyways, Hermit advances the plot by essentially Wayland. I think the ship only says Wayland on it because when they originally went out, it was Wayland before it became Wayland-Yutani, right?
Right.
Anyways, this Wayland.
Okay. Does that change? So from Alien to Aliens, does that change?
Yeah, I think by Aliens, it's Wayland-Yutani.
It's Weyland-Yutani. Right. By Aliens,
Alien, is it Weyland-Yutani? I don't know. It must be for the timeline to work, right?
Well, you're right.
The events of this take place 2 years
it
before.
would only make sense. Yeah, you're right.
Alien.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Anyways, the Wayland ship that had all these creatures on it that got let loose when everyone was asleep or whatever was going on.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously doesn't have anyone piloting it because the creatures, have gotten loose.
Right.
And there's only the one synthetic that's left, the cyborg guy.
We don't see the other. There's a shot of Tane screaming.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know. We assume he gets killed.
Mm-hmm.
So, though, the interesting thing between him and Morrow, who's the other robot, is that the alien doesn't kill him. Like the alien
tries to. I mean,
well, it gets loose and puts its face up against him, but then it ends up backing away from him.
it gets. I mean, the one scene in episode 2, it gets distracted by something else. Like he's waiting for it to attack him. I think.
I don't know. It doesn't kill him.
Its attention gets diverted.
I know it initially tries to get into, like, when they're on the ship still before it crashes to the planet, it tries to get at him, but I don't think it knows he's a synthetic at that point.
Right.
Like, I don't think it's interested in him if he's not a human being or a biological creature.
Right.
It leaves him alone. I don't know. When they're in the apartment and it kills all those security guards, it comes up to him, and then it's very reminiscent of Alien 3, where the alien realizes that Ripley's got an alien inside of her and it backs away from Ripley.
Mm.
Not the same situation here, but he's like a synthetic and it seems to not care about him.
Right.
I think it was only trying to get after him because he was isolated in a room and it probably thought he was a human at that point.
Right.
Like it wasn't in the room like sniff him or whatever and be like, "Oh, you're not human."
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Anyways, so the ship crashes. The crew's killed.
It crashes in whose territory?
Well, there's some debate as to why. Like, this is one of the videos I watched, and it might have been the one you sent, but did Weyland-Yutani, and I don't know that I agree with this, but did Weyland-Yutani intentionally have Mother set its crash course for a Prodigy territory to release these creatures that would cause chaos there? I don't know, kill them, but then it's like, well, what if Prodigy that captured them? Then it's like, well, that's the proprietary tech that Weyland-Yutani. See, I don't agree with that because that's like Weyland-Yutani is like
communicating with what's his face and the owner of Prodigy. And it's
Yeah,
like, don't touch our shit.
but they want the alien. So somebody had a theory as to they intentionally crashed there. I don't believe that because Weyland-Yutani has always wanted the alien, and so I don't believe that they intentionally did that. It doesn't make sense to me why they would do that. So it crash lands. The Prodigy team is going after it because, oh hey, here's a Weyland-Yutani ship. Like there's going to be stuff on here. Like we can glean something from stepping foot on their ship and seeing their tech, what they've been researching, whatever, yada yada yada. So it's one company trying to like fuck over the other company, like a usual day here in America,
right,
and on the Earth.
right.
So and we're also introduced to Boy. He names himself Boy, which is sort of weird. Boy Cavalier, who is the founder CEO of Prodigy. Who basically is spending all of his time creating these synthetics with childlike human consciousness,
Right.
Which is some technology that the other companies don't have. Apparently, they are also. We also in meeting this group of kids, we're introduced to one of the more interesting figures. I think is Kirsch, the one who is like the leader of these children, the
actual synthetic. Yeah.
Okay, the interesting thing about him is he looks just like the guy from Blade Runner, the first Blade Runner, the blonde hair. Like our brother John had the theory that he's a replicant.
Yeah, interesting. There have been arguments made that Alien and Blade Runner exist in the same universe.
Because they're both Ridley Scott, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And both have like androids in them. Anyways. I don't know. That's interesting. I didn't even think about that.
If that's true, then like the Tyrell Corporation hasn't been founded yet because they weren't one of the 5 companies that's mentioned.
Right.
Like, is there gonna be a point in the season where maybe like that company hits the stage?
I don't think they actually exist in the same universe. Like, I think it's kind of like a...
Oh, we're shitting all over this. Okay.
I think it's like a tongue-in-cheek thing.
Okay, I'm bored. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Right. Because, I mean, in Blade Runner, Tyrell is like the main corp, right?
I mean, in every Ridley Scott movie, there is one bad evil corporation.
One big bad corp. And that's the Tyrell Corp in Blade Runner. It's the Weyland Corp in Alien.
So the other ones, just to run through them. So so the players in this show, in this universe currently, are Weyland-Yutani, Prodigy, which is the newest of them. Like Prodigy is the new big upriser. Lynch, Dynamic, and Threshold. I have these names by researching them. I don't think we've been introduced to any of the other 3 yet. Like, have we heard anything from these other 3 companies?
I don't think so.
I know that I never played this game, but I know one of the interesting things about Alien Isolation is it was really the first thing within the canon, because I think that's considered canon. It's the first thing within the canon that introduced competing corporations. Right, like they're like in Alien and Aliens and in any of these movies prior, Weyland-Yutani is the corp. They're the corporation we know of. Like we don't. They seem to own everything, like Amazon, and like there's no competitor. So like the interesting thing about that video game, in watching people play through it, is that the synthetics on board the ship, Ripley's daughter, she can't stop them because I've not played this, but like there's a point in the game where the synthetics turn on the humans, but they're not, because they're not Weyland-Yutani synthetics, the ship can't talk to them. So like they're operating on their own, like independent of Weyland-Yutani. Anyways, I mentioned the game to mention that this show kind of carries that forward, where it's like, okay, there is this focus on one of the main themes of the show thus far is how humans really fuck everything up, like battling for power, like that the Earth has been made worse for these rich cocksuckers who like are just trying to fuck over the competition, and in fucking over the competition, a bunch of people are dying.
Mhm.
So anyways, that's my 2 cents.
True.
Anything other things that like other I feel like we should talk. So like, okay, the events of like, let's summarize the events. Ship crashes, team enters ship.
Mhm.
Prodigy Synthetics, she convinces the CEO Prodigy to allow this group of lost boys to go onto the ship because she wants to save her brother.
Yeah.
She makes it clear that her brother's on the ship and she wants to save him. And for some reason he agrees to this. I don't know if we know his motivation for doing that.
I think he has some interesting curiosity about her and
There's
her
this battle between
her connection with her brother.
I think he wants to see how much he can control the synthetics. Like, there's
a mentioning too of like when she becomes synthetic, there is like a mention that like, yes, she has her consciousness in her body, but she like doesn't have hormones anymore. Like,
don't they have to introduce hormones to them like synthetically?
I guess they try, but I don't know how like successful they're at it. Like, there's a point where they're mentioning that, and she mentions this directly, like the way she thinks or feels is different now.
Right. My understanding of why my thought of why he's doing this is because he's trying to figure out, because his synthetics are different from other synthetics. Their knowledge is based on human thoughts, human memories, human minds, human motivation, rather than a synthetic that's getting like Morrow, who is getting a directive to capture the alien, and he's a company guy. It's like Ash. You watch the scene with Morrow, he's crashing the ship, and there's a human on the outside knocking on the door, let me in, because she's about to be killed and does get killed by the alien. And his interest is not in protecting her. He's got the company's mission, which in his directive is above all else. Unlike Morrow, these synthetics, the Lost Boys, are synthetics whose motivations are based on a human mind. She wants to go save her brother, which is why she pitches this idea. A true synthetic would have not done that, because they would not have thought about the situation from a human perspective of my brother, my that's my brother. So the interesting thing about her and the Lost Boys is they are human in mind. And so I think his motivation, the CEO, Boy Cavalier, which is kind of a stupid name, like his motivation, I think, in sending them would be like, you know what? Okay, go. I think he's trying to do a test run here of how human are they versus like,
I think he is interested in her motivations, because
like, can I control her, or is she going to turn on me for ulterior motives? Which, as you know, humans love to fuck each other over. There's a famous line from Ripley in Aliens, where she's like, she turns to Burke and she's like, I don't know who's worse. You don't see them fucking each other over for a percentage.
Right.
So maybe he's worried because they're too human. They're going to turn on him.
I think there's dual motivation. Like, one, he's curious about how much like her human motivations now, even though she's a synthetic, and then two, like, I think he does agree with her, like the fact that they're synthetics and they're able to run fast and leap great distances and have super strength is a benefit to have them on the ground.
Yeah, they are synthetics in everything but mind only. Which is a really interesting. I mean, these are probably the most interesting introduced robots, whatever you want to call them, synthetics introduced into the Alien franchise, like that have ever been introduced, because they're human element.
Yeah, because they have, like, you see, like, when they enter the ship and see all these dead bodies, like, they have fear,
right?
Because like they have the minds of children. Like,
they've never seen death. Like they all of them are synthetics because they were going through a death process, but they never experienced it directly. Like they didn't die in their minds. They are continuing to live. Okay, so the ship. So Morrow crashes the ship because there's an outbreak. The alien gets loose, and his mission is to get these creatures back to Weyland-Yutani. He crashes the ship for whatever reason. I don't know why they navigate to a Prodigy city, but that's where they end up crashing it, in like literally in the middle of the metropolis.
Mm-hmm.
They crash the ship. Like, it's literally, the ship is infused inside of a skyscraper. The Hermit and the rescue team, the Prodigy rescue team, which is really, I mean, I'm going to put quotes around rescue because they're not really just there to rescue. They're kind of there to collect information for the company.
Mm-hmm.
They're company men. Hermit, who's the medical officer, and then the rescue team enter the ship. A lot of them get killed.
Right.
You know, duh. It's an alien show. A lot of deaths gonna happen. And then the Lost Boys and Wendy convinced the owner of Prodigy to allow them to head to the ship because she wants to save her brother. She ends up running into her brother, and episode 2 kind of ends with the alien knocking him off, like the side of, like, the alien like knocks him off of, like, they're in the scene and they're talking with each other, and the alien basically takes Hermit.
Right. Yeah, I guess so.
And, you know, obviously we don't know whether, you know, episode 3 is yet to air. By the time this episode airs, we'll probably splice in some of episode 3.
Mm-hmm.
But at this point, it's not aired yet. But, like, Hermit has basically been taken by the alien, and Wendy tells Kirsch, I'm trying to think of who's with her when that happens.
Yeah, it's one of the other synthetics.
She tells the person to watch the omelets. She calls the eggs the omelets.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And she says, watch the omelets. And the episode ends with, she's going to go after Hermit.
Right.
And really, I mean, in a nutshell, that's not a lot has happened. That's essentially what has happened. The big themes of the show are, the biggest theme of the show is circles around the continuing discussion of human beings wanting to be immortal.
Mm-hmm.
And roped into that is the discussion of the topic of these huge tech corporations that have like reached, they have this endless desire for power. They've reached their maximum in dividing the earth up amongst themselves. Like, it's like, what's worse, this alien or these corporations that are ruling our lives?
Right.
You know, and yet these corporations, these run by humans, are presenting two threats to themselves, which is squeezing them on either ends. On one end, there's the alien and this creature that is above them in the food chain, and on the other end is AI, which is eventually going to kill them, to like try to kill them as well. You know, like
right.
Like one of the YouTubers presents it as like there's this. And many Alien as a whole has presented two threats, like within the franchise that this show is highlighting. There is the creature, the alien, which is this killing machine. It's like being me being lost in a jungle with a lion. You know, it's this killing machine that is going to, that I cannot defend myself against. So there's, on one end, there's this primordial thing. And on the other end, there is this man-made threat, which is AI, which is also a threat to kill humankind,
right.
because it is not subservient to them.
Yeah, when it's not.
Eventually, it will. At some point, the threat is, because there are moments in the franchise, David, where the AI. David specifically, where but also Morrow. Like, Morrow kills his crew. He's serving a certain subsect of humans.
Well, he's serving, Weyland, so he's still in control.
But he can still kill a human.
True.
But
in the service of Weyland.
Right.
In a directive. David was, I think, unique because he was serving Weyland himself when he was alive. And as soon as he died,
right,
he had no one else to give him directives. He could go do his own thing. which
Right.
is what he did. And he
Right.
found like a huge disdain for humans.
I mean, David's motivation was he was disappointed by humankind, and he was also disappointed. He becomes disappointed in the engineers as well, because he just finds them to be, they might be a higher being than humans, but they're just as fallible to him. They're just as expendable to him.
right.
Okay, so why don't we? I mean, I think we've covered the events of the show. Like, so the most interesting things are the themes that run in the show. We've been introduced to some new aliens, other than the xenomorph that we're accustomed to. It's definitely an homage to the first two movies, the lo-fi sci-fi
Right.
aspect of it. It definitely, one of the controversies thus far is it has really jettisoned Prometheus and Alien, kind of, and like the what Ridley was trying to get across, which is interesting because he's a producer on here, but what Ridley was trying to get across or what he was trying to hint at in Prometheus and in Covenant, and David's role in the creation of the xenomorph, that's all jettisoned, really. And any interest in the engineers has been jettisoned, really.
Yeah, I mean this show's not really about them. It's about
The focus is the
at
alien.
least so far. I mean, who knows? They might introduce that stuff, or like
I don't know if they're
give a
gonna
nod
bring the Predator in. I feel like they've abandoned the engineer stuff.
Yeah, I think I mean, so far, this show has been homage to the very first movie.
The thing that's never been confirmed and which I am most interested in is it feels like the engineers have been exterminated. Like you think they'd be out and about, right? Like Ridley Scott hints at the engineers came to Earth, they started humanity, they've traveled to Earth a number of times. He basically implies that Jesus Christ or Jesus of Nazareth was an engineer. He was like an engineer ambassador to humanity, and yet human beings are now going further and further out into the universe and not encountering engineers. So it does
It
feel
feels like they've been.
it feels like they've been exterminated somehow.
I mean, David definitely exterminates an entire planet of them, but like, there's theories that
It's theories that they're not actual
that they
engineers,
were an
though.
offshoot as
Yeah,
well.
that they
It's
were a
just like
byproduct.
humans.
They look a little bit more like the engineers.
They look a little more like the engineers, but not as
Yeah.
just not as big. Like, I don't know. I don't think we ever get a sense of
But
their.
that also goes back to like David's disdain for them. It's like there is this suggestion that, how do I say this? There's a suggestion made in the movies that there are two segments of engineers. There are the warlike engineers and like the religious side. Like the religious side are the ones that wanted to create life across the universe. And then the warlike side is where they end up on that planet with, like, in Prometheus, the planet that they end up on is that sort of, those are like the warmongers of the engineers.
Right.
So maybe there was a civil war among them. I don't know. Maybe they self-exterminated themselves. I don't
Yeah, I
know.
just feel like the planet that David eventually attacks doesn't. It feels. I mean, everyone's wearing like very tattered robes, almost. Like,
Yeah.
it feels very like
They're a lower race than the
Yeah.
engineers, it seems like.
yeah.
They
like,
worship the engineers. They're happy to see that ship come,
right.
but they are not themselves engineers.
Right. Yeah, no. I mean, the whole engineer thing has never been fully fleshed out.
Right. We don't know. I
There's
mean,
still so many more questions than answers.
I wouldn't be surprised if in some later alien show that comes out 10, 15 years from now that we the engineers are brought back into the fold and we learn more about their civilization or something.
I mean, I'd be fast to learn more about them, to have them fleshed out. Feels like they're, for the most part, extinct by the time
Yeah.
the events of Alien or Prometheus or whatever happened,
Right.
because they're just not influencing a lot that's going. They just kind of disappear from the universe.
Right. I mean, it feels like they are kind of gone.
Yeah.
I like how it almost feels like the engineer that they find alive on that Elizabeth Shaw and all of them find David finds alive in that pod, who tries to get in the ship and go to Earth to destroy Earth. It almost feels like he's the last engineer in the universe.
Right.
Like he survived not only the outbreak on that planet that occurred, but like there was some extinction event that happened with them somehow. It's hard to fathom that, because you think like, okay, if these people were traveling in the universe and were colonizing other planets,
They're
like
literally creating new life on new other planets.
right? But think of how impossible it would be to kill all life on this planet. Like now, think about a race of people who have gone to other planets. Like how, like you can't tell me that there aren't engineers and they can cryo sleep. Like you can't tell me Ripley was floating out in space for like decades. You can't tell me there's not an engineer that's alive somewhere in the universe.
I mean, there
I think they're going to bring that
one in Prometheus.
Somebody's going to bring that back at some point, and focus on that. But it is kind of weird. Here's my let's round this out by talking about how Alien Earth fits into the rest of the franchise. There is a lot of contradiction in this series as compared to other series, where it does, like I've said before, it does really feel like the intent here has been to jettison Prometheus. Like everything that Prometheus introduced into the series. Now,
I think it definitely ignores it. I don't think there's a way to like fit it into the greater structure.
I really don't think the director cares to fit it in.
I don't think this director definitely doesn't.
Yeah.
But
he wants to focus on the alien.
But doesn't mean that someone else couldn't.
Well,
I mean, this show really, so far, and it's only been 2 episodes, is like tip of the cap to the very first movie. Yeah, and the very first movie
excuse me,
didn't care to explain anything about the engineers, so and only focused on the alien. So I think that's kind of the way the director is approaching so far. The show is like, we're going to focus on the alien and the androids, because those were 2 big things in the first movie. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well, any last thoughts on this so far? I mean, it's been good.
So far, so good. I mean, I came into like this show thinking
it's a slow burn so far.
Not like it, but so far it's only been 2 episodes. But so far I've really, really liked it.
I would say it's definitely a love letter, like we've said before, to the first film. To some extent to the second film. I do like the lo-fi sci-fi nature of it.
Right.
Like I did not like the techiness of Prometheus. I kind of felt like that was a betrayal of the original. Like betrayal is a big word, but I felt like I don't know how you could have done that and explained the original.
Right.
Like it just felt like that those 2 worlds could not exist within the same franchise. So I did always feel like Prometheus, while I think Prometheus is philosophically still the most interesting, though Alien Earth does give a run for its money in the sense of like Alien Earth hits home a little bit more. Alien, to some degree, Alien Romulus did too, of like kind of like American corporations suck, or just like corporations in general suck.
Generally, yeah.
And like capitalism is like really ruined everything. Like this is like the end stage of capitalism, where like not only do we give everything to these companies, but the companies are like literally dividing the planet amongst themselves.
Right. Which again is funny, made by Disney.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's a little on the nose there. But I will say like that for today, like in the year 2025 when we're filming, that's a message that hits home to me. But I also did always find Prometheus to be the most interesting philosophically, of like, where did we come from? Like, why are we here? Like those big human questions. It's like, it really expanded the Alien universe to really talk about the story of the engineers and their creation of humankind. Like,
Right.
I just feel like that was a big deal that I feel kind of I feel like Alien Earth can't deal with that subject matter.
Well, I think Alien Earth is actually, I feel like it's broaching pretty well, like walking that line between, like, obviously being like a horror action kind of thing where you're seeing a bunch of people die on screen,
right?
To like, it introduces this new idea of like human consciousness being, transferred to synthetic, and what does that mean?
Right.
Like,
yeah,
in introducing the themes of, they're doing a very like on the nose thing with Peter Pan, like in Lost Boys, and I think right now it is bridging the gap between like being actiony at points and being like horror and actiony at points, and then being kind of philosophical at some points.
Right. I mean, I'm interested to see where this season goes, especially if they do end up like introducing the Predator back into this fold here.
I think it's inevitable. I think there are.
Yeah.
I think people have already.
Does Disney own? Well, Hulu did do Prey, so they own the rights to Predator, right?
And I don't know if information has leaked or there have been leaked photos or something, but it's almost. I feel like it's almost guaranteed that a Predator at some point is going to show up in the show.
There was thoughts that, again, I think I mentioned this early in the episode, but like there were thoughts that you see this guy spraying this door down to cool. I don't know to do what to it, but there was some roaring that was happening.
Clearly, there's this weird thing going on in the very first episode, which then they cut back to again.
In the second episode. In both episodes, there's a shot where
this door.
This guy's literally just standing there spraying this door.
There's no explanation as to what's going on. Does it even seem like that when they walk past it? It doesn't seem like it faces the kid.
Yeah,
they just kind of walk past it, and something's happening in the background.
But somebody
feels
said
very
that
important.
Somebody said that there was a roaring noise that happens behind the door. So something's making noise behind the door. And so the theory that one person put out there is they somehow captured a Predator alive and they're keeping it in stasis there.
Okay. Somehow it's like blasting the door.
Well, I think he's cooling it to keep the temp down, to keep it asleep or something. I don't know.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know. It's a theory. We don't really know. But there is a lot of pretty strong speculation that at some point this season the Predator is going to show up.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes sense because, I mean, the two universes have collided and intermixed before.
Mm-hmm.
So, any last thoughts on, anything we haven't covered, or any last thoughts on Alien Earth?
No, I mean, so far, I think it does. It surprised me. Like, I didn't have a lot of high hopes for it, just because, like, I knew there were rumors it was going to introduce a bunch of new aliens or something like that.
There's been a lot of bad in the Alien franchise, which always makes you worried when something has that stamp on it, Alien. Like you do get a little bit worried, and you hold things to your chest closely because there's been a lot of good in the Alien franchise, but there's been a probably more bad than good.
Right, and if you had told me like this, like parts of these events take place before Prometheus. I probably would have been like, wait, how does this fit together? Obviously, they collected these eggs before the events of Prometheus.
Yeah, one of the things that I feel like
so far, everything I feel like, I mean, me personally, I feel like everything so far has worked.
Right,
like it has played a good. It's really walked that line of being like horror and actiony, and being philosophical with these new like robot things.
Right. I would agree with Ray. I think, even despite my critique about Prometheus, like in them, like kind of ignoring that part of the franchise, I do think that that's the right move for the show. It just seems like while I did enjoy Alien Romulus, one of my critiques about Alien Romulus was it really did try to shoehorn Prometheus into it.
Mm-hmm.
Like all of a sudden, like the last 30 minutes of that movie, like it's an Alien movie, up until the last 30 minutes where it's like, oh, let's now pivot to Prometheus.
Mhm.
And I just feel like a lot of people who've critiqued the film have critiqued it for trying too hard to shoehorn that in.
Right.
And I feel like one of the good things about this series so far with Alien Earth is it is who it is. Like, it's trying to be Alien, it's not trying to be everything.
Mhm.
And maybe it does need to. Maybe we do need to put Prometheus in that part of the franchise covenant. We need to let's isolate that. Let's put that to the side for now. Somebody else can focus on that in the future. Let's just talk about. Let's focus on these corporations that are ruining the planet. We're now back to the oldies and the goodies. Weyland Yutani, the evil corporation. It feels like we're coming home again. It's like it really does feel like a return to the roots of the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
And like Ray said, like I've said, it does feel like a love letter to Alien, to Ridley
Right.
Scott's original Alien movie.
Right.
So, all right. Well, unless Ray has some riveting or mind enlarging thing to share with me right now, I mean, I feel like we have to leave it at that until we see more of this.
Yeah, I mean, we'll keep doing this. We'll
probably add some content here.
How do you want to do this? Do we want to do like 2 episode increments? 1 episode increments?
I feel like depending on how long this ends up being, we might just tag on. Like episode 3 is coming out tomorrow.
Right.
So do we tag on? Like, we're not going to have 2 episodes to talk about next. So do we tag on episode 3 to this episode, which by the time this comes out, it would make more sense than us doing a whole new episode on episode 3.
Interesting. I don't know.
I feel like we need to film and talk about episode 3 and then decide, was that enough content for
It's the first time we're working on a project where like it's not completed, you know what I'm saying?
This is like a running,
like
it's the first running topic.
Running sort of like thing
we're going to keep talking about Alien Earth because it's on right now.
Yeah.
And we're trying to be a little bit more topical.
Like that ointment you use.
Like the ointment. Yes, exactly. Just like that. We are trying to be on point and up in your space.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
nooks and crannies.
there you go. There you have it. That has been another episode of Split Personalities. Just because we've done this every episode, I'm going to tell Masthead that they need to sponsor us.
Noble Beast.
Shout
out to you too.
This isn't a you should. You need to.
You gotta.
You gotta. We know you love us. We know you need us. We know you can't live without us.
And you know you're going to give us some tickets, right?
We would love this. Masthead.
Great Lakes, Masthead.
Great Lakes.
Whoever
Shout out
wants
to
to
you,
do
Great
it.
Lakes. If this shout out gets us tickets to Oktoberfest, then it was worth
Shout out to the OG microbrewery in Cleveland. Great
Okay,
Lakes.
I will say, I don't want to sink our chances here. I will say, despite the fact that I don't really like a lot that Great Lakes does, like they are one of the big reasons why I feel like microbrewing in Ohio blew up.
Yeah.
Great Lakes was a big reason for the big bar scene that happened in Cleveland.
I mean, they're not like a Sierra Nevada, like where it's like everywhere across the country, but like, or like a what's the Boston one?
Sam Adams.
But like, I mean, it can't be far off. Like,
I mean, Great Lakes has kind of become like the Sam Adams of Cleveland.
Yeah, I mean, they're
feel
huge.
that way
They're
about
everywhere.
them.
They're in Chicago. They're like
Now, I do want to say this.
North Carolina has like they do first pour events for their probably most famous beer, which is the Christmas ale. And I last time I checked, they were doing them in North Carolina and like
No, that sucks.
insane places.
I think they do one in Chicago too.
Yeah.
I will say this. I do think, and I'm waiting for our sister Liz to give me her fucking feedback. Text her about this. But I think I do.
She's the marketing department.
Yeah, the marketing department has got to get back to me. But I think part of her feedback for this show is accurate, where I think Ray and I need to get out there with the people. I think Ray and I need to get out there with the people. We're tall as fuck. We need to show that off People want to take pictures with us. Our sister Liz was like, everybody in Monaghan put everything down and wanted to take a picture with you guys.
Right.
I'm like, we need to get out there with the people. I feel like
Yeah. We need to start shaking hands, kissing
the babies, shaking the hands. I'm like, okay, Great Lakes Christmas sale first pour. Ray and I should be there.
Ooh, yeah, that would be a good one.
You and I should go there. We should film. We got to find out a format here.
We got to figure out what are the people talking about.
What events are Masthead? Reach out to us.
Yeah. This is a perfect time to do that with the Oktoberfest, right?
If we get invited to Cleveland's Oktoberfest, you better believe Ray and I are going to be there. We're going to bring our camera and we're going to talk. We're going to talk to the folks.
We're going to talk to the folks. We're going to interview them and ask them, "What do you think about Metal Gear Solid?"
Yes, the
very topical Oktoberfest.
The questions that they really want to get at.
Yes,
we're going to be there and we're going to talk to them. So
we'll find the drunkest people and put them on camp.
So I'm going to reach out to you guys. Masthead, you will get an Instagram message from me. Noble Beast, Bookhouse Brewing, all the Cleveland, Great Lakes. I am going to reach out to you all and try to find out what events are coming up. Rosie's Winehouse, I know you guys throw events too. You have a trivia that I didn't get to sign up for. That's coming up. But I'm going to reach out to places, and I think Ray and I are going to get out among the people and spread the word. I might, along with some of the apparel.
We're going to spread the good news.
Along with some of the apparel I'm looking to order for Ray and I think I'm going to make some stickers for us to just leave places.
I do have apparel ideas, and I'm like...
Okay, Ray needs to share the shit with me then, because I've been sending him shit, and he needs to share it with me.
Well, I did share it with you, but I'm also like, we need to trademark some of this stuff, right?
Do we? Are we trademarked because we're now public on, we're a public channel on a public platform?
We need to figure out Patreon and LLCing or a bunch of different shit.
We need you guys to pay us, but we have to figure Patreon out before you to pay us.
Yes.
Which we should do. I mean, you're here, so we should do this. Anyways, I think for us to expand our viewership, we need to get out with the people. We need to be out there, like not Billy on the street, but out amongst the folk.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if we get out there at an event, we can actually promote ourselves. Like, who wants the twins at their next event? We had a wedding DJ come up to us once and say, I need you at every wedding that I'm going to do from here on out, because you are bringing the party.
I mean, you feed us a couple of shots of Jameson.
Yes.
The party starts.
You get us liquored up a little bit. Just a little bit, just the right amount. And some magic might happen.
Magic.
We might actually turn your little shitty event into a banger.
Right. If you play the right music.
You gotta have the hits going though.
Yeah, play on about 5 times.
Yes. Exactly. So anyways, I think we're gonna get out amongst the Cleveland folk. I do want Ray and I, one event that I want Ray and I to go to is Oktoberfest. Another event that I think Ray and I should go to is the first pour of Christmas Ale. And we'll let you guys come to us and decide.
Yeah, let's know what events are going on too.
Noble Beast, Masthead, Rosie's Winehouse, Bookhouse Brewing, Immigrant Son, Midnight Owl, Working Class Brewery, Fatheads Brewery. Yeah. You better come to us. If you want us, you're gonna have to get in contact with us.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have to make it worth our while. We want that money.
Money.
We want that donations. We want that free beer. We want that money. And we'll come out and we'll be a part of your event, and we'll make your event. We'll turn your event from a really boring piece of shit into something memorable.
It'll be the bell of the ball.
Bell on the ball. You will be the ball. We'll be the bells, and you'll be the ball.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that's it. Signing off. This has been another episode of Split Personalities. In the spirit of Oktoberfest, Prost. And Great Lakes and Masthead, you better fucking hit us up about going to Oktoberfest.
Yeah, for sure.
So we'll see you there.
Eventually you can send us a real Oktoberfest too.
Actually, you know what? That's a great idea. if we do a good enough job at your Oktoberfest, you should pay for us to go to Germany.
Yes.
For the real Oktoberfest.
Right.
We hit up the best one in America by going to Cleveland's Oktober. USA Today told me Cleveland is the best Oktoberfest in the States. So since we've done that, there's nowhere else to go but Munich.
Yeah.
We got to go, and you got to pay for
We
it.
have to compare.
We got to get a GoFundMe going or something.
For sure.
And you're sending the Cleveland Twins to Oktoberfest in Munich.
But first, Oktoberfest here.
But here you need to give us the tickets.
Those ticks.
We're waiting for the tickets. I checked my car's windshield. There weren't any tickets under the windshield there. So I'm still waiting for those.
Yeah, they just missed you. That's what happened.
All right. Well, we are signing off. Good night and good luck.